Hi, this is Kristen here with another process video, and today I'm working on day 16 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and I picked out some Echo Park paper. This is one of their paper packs that I had gotten in their clearance sale, so I don't recall what it was called, but I'm sure I don't know that it's one that they sell anymore. And so you can see like the pajama or the onesie paper I had obviously used in another layout, so I decided to stretch it and use it up rather than waste it. So I'm mounting the photographs that I'm using on white cardstock and then just some blue plaid paper that came on the backs of one of these papers that came in the Echo Park pack. Echo Park regularly has like a clearance sale, and they really sell like their paper products, like so you get a whole pack of paper with cardstock stickers in it, and usually they're around $15.99 and they have them marked half off pretty often. And then sometimes they even have sales where they will do like $5 packs like that. So I highly recommend to get onto their website and check out the sales that they have, because their paper is just so cute and it's good, really good quality. The two pictures I'm documenting are of my oldest son feeding my middle son when he was a baby, and it looks like he's kind of bored in this picture, although I don't think he really was. I think he was just kind of sitting there watching TV, but I thought it was just kind of a funny picture, and so I decided to document it. I'm going to get this one mounted onto that blue plaid paper. I didn't want too much of it poking out from behind, but just something to kind of have it stand out a little bit from the onesie paper, because the onesie paper is, it's got a pretty busy pattern on it. I'm going to get my T-square ruler out just to make sure that I'm getting everything on the page somewhat in a level manner. A lot of time I kind of just eyeball it, and usually I do pretty well, but sometimes not so much. Now, since this paper was split, I really probably should have maybe cut it to where the onesies would kind of like, I could match up the onesies a little bit, but I really didn't care that much about that. And then the sketch shows where you have like some banners going across the bottom. Now, originally the two banners that I had there that I was going to place behind or along with the photograph, one in the sketch shows that it kind of partially goes behind your photograph, and actually like the paper that the pictures are mounted on, so like the onesie paper should really be a little bit longer, but I was working with what I had. So anyways, so you were supposed to have a banner piece that kind of sat behind the pictures. Well, the original banner that I picked out was the same color as what I had mounted the photographs on, and so I didn't like that and didn't like how that looked. So I do end up picking out a different banner piece here because I wanted it to kind of stand out from behind the photographs. So and I definitely wanted this set down lower because I didn't want the corner of the pajama piece popping out from behind the banner. I don't know why. It was just going to bother me if it did that. So I'm just kind of trying to decide where to cut this. And I obviously don't want them the same lengths because that's what the sketch shows. And then it also has a couple of tags set behind the pictures. I think it might, from what I recall the sketch, I think it actually might have been more behind like where the onesie paper is, but I decided to put it right behind my photographs because I was trying to kind of hide that split piece between the two papers being, that paper having been cut in half. And I find this cute 2 months tag because that's about he was almost 2 months at that point in this picture, so. And I felt like the blue tag was kind of getting lost, so I ended up cutting out this darker blue tag, and I just didn't like the shape of it, the fact that it was a, square. It wasn't like, kind of the same shape as the other tag, so I ended up not using it. I end up cutting out this orange tag. You can kind of see it on the bottom of the screen there. I think that might have been the only orange tag, because I thought, well, there's a little bit of orange in the onesies, a little bit of orange in the alphabet at the bottom, so. And I just thought that it would probably stand out a little bit better from the background of the pajama paper, so, or the onesie paper. And off screen here, I was punching holes through where the eyelets are supposed to be in the tags, so. And I thought I was going to try to use this because I cut it and I didn't want to end up losing it somewhere. But I just decided I didn't like how it looked. So you'll see me kind of messing around with these tags, trying to get them just right. I was being very particular about it for some reason. I'm not sure why. And because there were like little drawings on it, I thought it would look weird if like half of the elephant was cut off, because it's 2 elephants and it says "I love you." So I was trying to kind of not have part of that the tag showing where it showed like some of that drawing on it. I decided to go in and just put a little bit of Distress Oxide around the edges of the tag just to kind of help them stand out from the background of the onesie paper. And I think that was in Speckled Egg. So I'm going to go ahead and get this green banner down. Just trying to make sure that I've got it somewhat lined up. And I kept looking at this, and I just felt like I wanted something else on this banner. So you can see I had started to tape that banner down, and I was like, I kind of want just one more banner. The sketch only shows 2, but I just wanted one more in there. So I do end up going with the same plaid background that I backed the photographs with. So just to kind of work that in. Go ahead and get that down. This was a really simple layout. I don't end up adding a lot of ephemera on it because I feel like, again, with the alphabet, with the onesie paper in the background, I just felt like if I added too much to it, it would start to get a little busy looking. So I just kind of kept it simple. See, and I was trying to figure out, like, can I have this elephant show, but thinking like you could see part of the writing and all it would say is "you." So I decided to totally tuck those tags down to where you couldn't see any of the drawing on it. So I'm going to get the 2 months tag off to the side here. I initially was going to have it sitting over the alphabet, but then I decided it looked better kind of tucked behind it. And the sketch didn't call for a tag over there, I don't believe, but I just kind of liked that one since that was pretty close to his age. I pull out this fox sticker. Now, there's a little bit of a story behind it. So my husband has a sleeve tattoo, and he's gotten, each one of us kind of has like a animal symbol. And so a fox is my middle son's animal, because we always said he was like cunning and fast and sly like a fox. So that's kind of been his thing. So my husband actually has a tattoo that has a fox on it. So I work in a second fox up there. My oldest, he is an owl, and there's a story behind that. So he was premature, and his nursery was going to be in kind of owl themes, and I had stopped making the nursery when we were having difficulty with him, and then when things kind of seemed like they were going better, I started working on the owl stuff again. And actually, before my second was born, we had an owl fly in front of our truck on the way to the hospital to deliver my second son, because I was the first pregnancy was really complicated, and he was in the NICU for 5 weeks. So I think it was kind of a little bit of a sign that things were going to be okay. So he's become the owl, and my daughter is a Rose, because that's her middle name. So there's a little bit of a story behind it. Now, Milk and Meh, I wasn't sure what kind of title to use on this, and so I went into Chat GPT and put in, like, feeding a baby and being bored, a title for that, and it came up with like some pretty like long ones. So then I just typed in shorter, and it gave me Milk and Meh, and I was like, that's perfect. So that is what my title is. And then to kind of pull in a little bit of texture, since this layout's kind of flat with not a lot of dimension to it, I do add some twine and just kind of make sure that it's all interwoven between the tags, just so you get some continuity there. So really the only ephemera I added was the 2 fox stickers, the tags, and then the baby bottle, the pacifier, and then the bib, and then the title, and that was pretty much it. The rest of it was just paper. So I'm going to glue the twine down in spots where I want it to kind of stay there. And some days it's nice to just do a little bit more simple layout like this, and get some more memories on a page. Not everything has to be super overthought, super over embellished, which I tend to be an over embellisher. At least, I mean, maybe perfectly embellished for me, but to some people maybe over embellishing. And some of my layouts are probably a little bit more embellished than I would like sometimes, but sometimes you just have fun with it. So here is the finished layout. It was some close-ups, and I appreciate you coming by to watch another process video.